I can't even start. I took a picture. Hello, my cat's Karen here. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Should I say your nickname or your real name?
I don't know, you can say whatever you want.
It's your choice.
You can say whatever you want.
With me today, someone that's very close to my heart, and he is a Whovian like I am now. Well, pretty much he made me into a Whovian. Nestor! Yay! No one claps, I know, that's kind of sad. Knowing Nufu, his friend from like forever, and his brother might like either bust in or, well, we have the door locked. They can't come in. But we might hear them like knock on the door like uncontrollably.
I made sure to take care of that.
And today's video is actually our top 5 video games that we are willing to play every single time and not get bored of it. So technically you go from 5 to number 1. And the rules is with this one, if you pick a game from one series, like specifically, you cannot pick any other one from the same series. Either pick the whole series or one certain game. You want to start first with your number 5, and then I'll go with my 5th?
No, you can start with yours.
Okay. I wrote mine down, and we have to pretty much give the reason why we like it. Like, I guess we can give our reasons. Like, does all your games have anything in common?
No, not necessarily. They're all just fairly different games, and yeah, pretty much.
I'm gonna say this now, 4 out of 5 of my games are series. Because I couldn't just pick one. It was hard, so I went with the whole series, and I did like the whole series on all of them. Okay, my number 5. The reason is this one, because there is feels and the love for zombies. Last of Us! And this also includes the DLC, so pretty much, it's just, of course no one expected Ellie, but then again we all expected her to go that way, but he's all thinking about it.
Yeah, it was a surprise. I played it and I was like...
Pretty much Last of Us, it's just the way they showed the world how it could be, just in case like it does go that way. It just shows Mother Nature just like took over and everything. So many feels, you get attached to the characters. But that's how I feel in all the games I have on my list.
Right.
So pretty much it's just like you get attached to it, you feel like, oh my god, like if something bad happened to them, you're like super attached. Like an anime character when you get attached in the show and stuff, and next thing you know they're killed off or something and you're like, why?
You like the feels.
Exactly. Like in Clownhead. Ultimate feels. What's your number 5?
My number 5 should have been a little bit higher, but I put it there just because it was one of the first ones I ever truly actually played, is Pokemon Emerald.
Nice.
I played the originals, I had a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and I've always played them, always made sure all my Pokemon games were my favorite. But Pokemon Emerald was the first one I actually managed to get by myself, and it's the first one that I actually almost caught every single one, besides 2, which were Jirachi and Deoxys. But other than that, that's the one that I truly spent hours and hours and hours and days upon days, if not, I put in close to almost like 350 hours into that game.
Reminds me of Final Fantasy. Alright, now to number 4. My number 4 happens to be the Uncharted series. You are not surprised on that one.
Nope.
He kind of guessed a few of the games, but he didn't know what order they were. You knew Resident Evil and Uncharted, of course. Resident Evil, you'll hear it soon. Uncharted series, of course, the first game, first time playing it, just reminded me of Lara Croft male version with gorilla hands. He had the gorilla grip.
Right.
It was just more shooting in it than Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider was gonna be on my list, but ended up getting taken over by Uncharted. It's just more storyline. I know Tomb Raider was there longer, of course, but it's just like I got pretty much treasure. It makes you like the storyline like just makes so much sense. It's different compared to Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider is just a treasure hunter. This guy's actually trying to find a treasure, trying to find the history of it, trying to find out if it's true or false.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, it's like a history teacher going out on an adventure.
Right, and there's certain parts of the game where he just gets thrust into it, and he needs to find his
way
own way around. Yeah.
Yeah, and pretty much, I know we're both excited for the new Uncharted 4. I even have the controller on hold because I really want the PS4 system.
Pre-ordered.
You pre-ordered the PS4 system?
Not the system, but I have
the controller.
2 copies of the game pre-ordered.
Because I get to play one and he's gonna play one. most likely I'm gonna get the PlayStation Network so we can play online as well. And yeah. Alright, what's your number 4?
Kingdom Hearts 2.
You couldn't pick both, huh?
No, I couldn't pick both. I went with Kingdom Hearts 2 because that's essentially when I got my PlayStation 2. I got my stuff kind of late, so by the time I got my own PS2, the Slim system was already out. And then it was on Christmas. I needed different stuff to play. Essentially, when I got the PS2, immediately as soon as GameStop was open, I went down and I picked a couple games. They didn't have Kingdom Hearts 2, but I managed to have a friend who got it, and he let me borrow it, and I kept it for longer than I thought I was gonna have it. I kept it for, I want to say about 2 to 3 months. Yeah, it took about 2 to 3 months, and I just played the hell out of that game.
It's a good game. It's a very addicting game. To me, compared to Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, 2 happens to be my favorite.
Well, the main reason why I like it so much is because of all the different changes they went from 1, because as soon as I beat 2, I went back to 1, and I couldn't, as soon as I beat 1, I went back to 2, and I played it multiple times over and over, to the point where I could remember the final boss fight with Xemnas, like, by the back of my hand. I could know where all the reaction commands are, I know exactly what to do, basically.
I found it very easy to beat him, though.
It was extremely easy compared to Kingdom Hearts 1, but that's what I like about 2, is that it was a lot more epic in the sense of grandeur with the boss fights, and I just loved it in that sense.
I wish I could find my Kingdom Hearts 2 copy, because I unfortunately lost it. I have no clue what happened to it.
I have my own copy somewhere around here, I just don't know where it's at.
I had it before for PS2, I had borrowed it, but I ended up getting my own copies of 1.5 and 2.5. Oh, he has it right here, actually.
Well, this is 1.5.
It is 1.5. I had it just like that, too. But 1.5, I know my cousin's playing it right now, so he's using it. But 2.5 I lost. I have no clue where it is. I have no clue, like, where I left it. I know it's somewhere in my room. Because I have my PS3 in there, so... Pretty much, yeah. I wish I could play it again.
Okay. I'm gonna order some more.
Alright. My number 3, and... surprisingly, I'm surprised that this one's not higher, because I've been playing it since I've seen my dad play it since 1997. The Resident Evil series. He already knew, but even he's wondering why it's not more up there. Because he knows how much I play it. I even brought my Revelations with me so we can both play later after this video. Because he is starting to play Resident Evil all over. He's never really played it, so he's starting with 0, then 1, because he got the HD collection.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The Origins collection.
The reason for Resident Evil series for me is because I ended up growing up with it. Surprisingly, I laughed at my dad getting killed by zombies, which is kind of cynical for a 7 or 8-year-old. But I ended up growing up with it, just watching him play it, and it was after the 3rd one, Nemesis, that they stopped playing, and I ended up playing Resident Evil 4 on my own. And that's when, of course, I got attached to the Leon character, the Chris character, not much to the Ashley Graham character in Resident Evil 4, the President's daughter.
Basically, you just play babysitter.
Yeah, and a lot of people were able to do a lot of, like, Easter eggs or something in that game. You're able to look up her score, which is kind of disturbing. I don't want to look at that.
If you play Ada's story, you can find you can find a villager that's infected with La Plaga with Leon's jacket.
Yeah, you end up killing him last, matter of fact. That's, like, not really much of an Easter egg. She ends up, like, looking at him, but she doesn't say anything, because she didn't really recognize the jacket at first. But, pretty much... after Resident Evil 4, I ended up getting Resident Evil 5, and that was before the Gold Edition. And Resident Evil 5, I kind of got confused on that one. It ended up being more action after Resident Evil 4, but I was still attached to it. I ended up playing the games in between, like Code Veronica, Revelations 1 and 2, because Revelations 2 was the latest one. There's the Dark Side Chronicles, the Umbrella Chronicles, and there's Raccoon City, or like pretty much the storyline where you play in the Umbrella side. And in multiplayer you play other ones and everything, but to me it's just, I grew up with it, it's nostalgic to me, and to this day I can play it non-stop. Lately I've been playing Resident Evil 5 again, and I already passed the other ones because I have Resident Evil 1 and 2 in its original PS1 bulky cases, if you guys remember in the 90s. Those 90s people that watch my videos, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm still looking for Resident Evil 1 1997 version, because the one I have is the 1998 Director's Cut. Resident Evil 2, that comes with the Leon and Claire CD. You play Leon's on the first disc, and the second disc is Claire's, which is A and B, both in each one. Then Resident Evil 3 Nemesis is downloaded on my PS3. That's the
think
one.
so.
That one is very hard to find on a physical copy.
Which I will find.
He is trying to find it for me. I told him, good luck. It's gonna be pricey. If it's cheap, then something's wrong with it. You know well enough something will be wrong with it if it was cheap. 4 is also downloaded. I ended up getting the gold edition of Resident Evil 5, so I was able to play the DLCs that it came with. And of course, Resident Evil 6, I also got it in physical copy because my dad ended up getting it for me pre-ordered, which I was surprised on. That one came with Resident Evil stickers, and that's on my first controller. Other than that, I ended up getting this one myself under my own name. It was my first pre-order, actually. Like I said, like to me, it's just so much attachment to me. I grew up with it, and to this day, I can still play him nonstop. That's why I brought this one for him, so he can play. All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3, it was either between two very, very different games. It was either between Animal Crossing New Leaf or Silent Hill 3.
That's a good one.
I ended up going with Silent Hill 3 because, again, going back to me getting stuff late, it was back when it was my first PS2. It was the first game I actually got to go out and choose what I wanted to get. So, went with my dad, we went to GameStop, let him know, it's like, hey, like, I want this game, and he was actually okay with the rated and mature.
Can you feel that?
It's my phone ringing. It's my brother calling.
Why is your brother calling?
I don't know.
I think he's gonna knock here. You see?
Yeah.
Hang on. It's okay. I'm sorry about that. It's just his brother kept calling.
Yeah.
You're talking about your third one.
Yeah. Well, going back to Silent Hill 3.
Yeah, there we go.
Like I said, it was the one that actually got out to choose what the game I wanted immediately right after Christmas, and my dad was okay with me getting it. I let him know what was in it. I let him know what the rating and stuff was. But I got extremely lucky because at the GameStop they had it pre-owned, but it was essentially brand new. Because I guess the guy who traded in only used it maybe once.
And didn't like it, and
yeah,
just
it was
returned
the
it.
double pack that came with the game and with the soundtrack.
I have that one.
I still have. Yeah, I still have somewhere in my cluttered mess of a room.
That's when GameStop still had PS2 games.
Yeah, that was back when the good old days.
We know this because we both worked there. They don't sell it anymore.
Yeah. Like I said, it was the one I got to choose on my own. And immediately, as soon as I got home, I spent hours and hours playing it, finding all the Easter eggs, finding all the hidden weapons, getting the costume that made you into a magical girl princess that shoot laser beams. And it was just very, very fun game, and I enjoyed the hell out of it.
I still have that one in my copy. It's just the soundtrack. I can't seem to find it
No,
either
I
right
still
now.
have. I still have my
I
copy
lost my
with
soundtrack one, but I still have the game.
I remembered where it is. I have downstairs in my storage. I have a bin full of stuff that's in there, and it's in there. I just need to dig that out, and so I can copy it over to.
It's gonna make me want to play, but I don't have a PS2 because my PS3 plays PS1 and PS3 games.
Actually, well, yours isn't. Well.
Mine's not this one.
Yeah, well, I have this one here that can play PS2, PS1, and PS3.
I don't like you right now. Alright, my number 2. I'm surprised on this one. Okay, this is between 1 and 2. It could have gone either way, but then perspective on how I loved it so much and how long I've been playing them, that's what got number 2 and number 1. My number 2 is the Legend of Zelda series. He is surprised on this right now. Look at this face. What are you thinking right now? Oh, he got me this. That's why he's surprised on it, because I am such a fan of Legend of Zelda. I even have it tattooed. And I even have the pixelated heart. But he is surprised it's not my number 1, like Resident Evil. It was between those two to be number 1, huh? That's what you thought?
Now I don't know what your number 1 is going to be.
Yeah, because he's confused with my number 1. He's like, I didn't tell him what it was. Legend of Zelda, I played it since the beginning. The story is, when I first played the first Legend of Zelda, my brother had gotten it. He would not let me touch it. And one day, he actually stayed at his friend's house next door. And I had the keys to the house because I wanted to be home. Or like, just had to climb up the stairs and go to my apartment. And I saw it. I turned it on. I started playing it. I didn't care if I got caught or anything. I fell in love with the Legend of Zelda. I fell in love with it, and ever since then, I'll try to get the next game, and everything. My dad liked that I played an adventure game. It wasn't horror or anything like he was showing me when I was little.
Right.
So it was a game that I could play. there was like bosses to fight and everything, fighting and stuff, but it wasn't like a shooting where blood was coming out, like all gory and like blah and stuff like that. But pretty much to this day, I'll still play it. Out of the whole series, yes, Twilight Princess and Majora's Mask is my favorites, but I love the whole series all together. And you just grow up with Link, and with Zelda, and of course with Link. It's just, I remember the little flying things. Yeah, the Navis. I still want to get Navi tattooed.
Or
Hey, listen! What is your number 2?
my number 2. It should have been higher. Actually, it was gonna be my number 1, but recent entries into it made me reconsider. I started thinking more and more over the longevity of it. I mean, it's a pretty big game, but I would say the whole Fallout series in total, but specifically number 3, because that one is...
So you want to switch your 3 to a 2 and that one back to 3?
No, I'm keeping it because I was thinking of which Fallout to put as my number 2 or my number 1, but I decided to go with as my number 2 Fallout 3.
Fallout 3? Because Fallout 4 is really good, but...
Fallout 4 is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's not perfect by any means. It's like not perfect at all, but Fallout 3 had more of my imagination captured. It was when I first got my PS3, I needed different games to play. My friend Nufu actually, he got Fallout 3 and he didn't like it. He played it for maybe like 10-15 minutes to I don't know how long he played it. I think he made me get past the vault, and he let me borrow it, and I fell in love with it instantly. I put in over 450 to 500 hours into that game. Starting multiple files, restarting, going back, loading save files, doing things differently, trying to get as many outcomes as I can, and it was one of the first games I actually ever 100% on the trophies and achievements and on Steam, because I own Fallout 3 in everything, and I have every single achievement trophy, and I think in Steam they're called achievements as well. I have every single one of them. Took forever, but I did it because I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it so much. I still play it to this day. I go back and I replay things over and over. I'm still discovering different things that I didn't know were in the game. Like a friend of mine told me that if you kill 3 Dog, supposedly a girl takes over the radio station and just goes, 3 Dog's dead. Here's music. And plays. And supposedly, I have no idea because I never wanted to kill 3 Dog. Like I told him, he didn't know. Yeah, 3 Dog is the radio DJ, the one that plays all the music, and it's like...
I think it was his assistant just not giving 2 fucks.
Yeah, it's basically the best radio personality ever, which should have been in Fallout 4, but we got a really sad, depressed radio DJ that you do a quest to help him, but I mean, it wasn't any 3 Dog because he didn't have the personality. But the best thing about it is there's still things I'm discovering, and to this day I play it every day. I still play. I think last time I played it was about 2 days ago. I just load up a save file, pick up where I left off from there, and I just keep going. And it's one I can honestly say I can play forever.
Pretty much like I said earlier, on this list is games that we can play non-stop. We can keep playing it even after we passed it. Yes. He's a collector of these, and...
Is he Denchi?
I love these things. They're like
clicky.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, it's very clicky.
Like, it's annoying to someone, but when you're doing it, it's like therapeutic. But when someone does it to you, it might be annoying to you.
It's not annoying.
Well, he loves it because he does it.
Clicky.
Okay, for our number 1, I'm scared to reveal it because you don't even know what it is at all. Are you trying? You want to guess what it is?
No, I'm not gonna guess because I know I'm not gonna get it right.
I'm trying to guess yours. If I guess it right, you have to talk about it.
Okay. But I don't know.
I'm trying to look around his room to see. Oh, I know what it is.
What?
Megaman.
Specifically?
Legacy?
Close. Megaman Legends.
Oh, that's a good one.
People will be shocked that I don't like the standard Mega Man games, the ones with the sprites and everything back in.
But that's why you picked
back in Nintendo and
a
Super
specific
Nintendo.
one.
Yeah, I picked Megaman Legends specifically because it was the first Mega Man game full on 3D, and I played it on my PlayStation 1 as opposed to the 64 version because the PlayStation 1 version is actually a lot better. Music is better. The audio is better. On the 64 version, there's audio that's cut. There's music tracks that are missing. In PS4 or the original PlayStation, it rendered beautifully. And I mean, now the game looks terrible, but I still love it because I actually went back, and as soon as it was available on PSN to download as a classic, I went ahead and did that. And I made sure you got it.
I know, because on my PS3, there's games I want to download, and I wish they had Legends 2, because I actually like the Legends 2. And you like the first one. The second one, I liked it. I don't think I got attached to it as well, but it's not on my list.
Yeah, it's like I did everything in that game. I got all the minigames done. I beat Mega Man Juno multiple times. I got all the hidden weapons. I even got the Z Saber. People pronounce this I don't know different ways, but it was the basically shining laser, which is a nice laser weapon that you have to build yourself. Basically all the side stuff, side quests, all the hidden items, making Roll max out my inventory, making her max out my weapons. It is honestly one of those games when I was a kid, I spent hours and hours and hours playing it multiple times a day until I would get yelled at to turn it off.
That's how my number one is too.
I still get yelled at to turn stuff off.
We both still do. Ready for mine? Okay, my number one, I spent hours, and I mean hours, and I think it took me weeks to almost months to even pass one game of this series. But I played. It is a whole series, and I love the whole series. I wish I could pick one specifically, but then, like I said, I passed all of them, and to the recent one, I finally played the last one that just came out, and I'm waiting for the other one. It's actually on the list that I printed out for you. There's a list I printed out for games that are coming out. He's gonna look at it right now. It's 8 pages. See if he can find it. I might fast forward this. You might see him just shuffling papers. Going back to my third one, the only game I haven't played from Resident Evil is the Umbrella Corps that's coming out. So that one, I'm waiting for it. He guessed it. Final Fantasy series. It's like Legend of Zelda. I grew up with it. Another game my dad actually let me get on my own. Of course, you get attached to all the characters and everything, even though they're not exactly regular humans like we are. They're more advanced soldiers and everything, like especially like Cloud, Tifa, of course, Lightning especially. It's just, I grew up with it. All the monsters is just so different. It's just the imagination that. And to anyone that's played Final Fantasy games, you already know how long it freaking takes. One game, especially the first one. How long did it take you?
For the first one, it took me about 30 hours, 45 hours.
Over 60, because there's a lot of things to find. Trust me, there's a lot.
I tried speeding it, and still don't work.
That's one thing about me when it comes to Resident Evil games, or especially Final Fantasy. I look through the room like you're gonna find something. You never know. And to the last one I played, I did enjoy it and everything, but it wasn't as much as pretty much the one that had Cloud and Tifa in it, and then of course Lightning and X and X2. Those two happen to be one of my favorites as well. It's just very different, more imagination to it.
The series is fantastic. I mean, all the games are gorgeous in their own right.
Exactly, and now with Final Fantasy 15 coming out, everyone is just waiting for that one to come out.
I still think 8 was better than 7. I don't think 7...
And they're remaking 7.
They're remaking 7, which
That's
I don't...
I'm excited for that, he's not.
I'm excited for it, don't get me wrong, I really am excited for it. But I don't know why people are so hyped over 7 when 8 was clearly a much better game.
It is true, 8 was much a better game, but I think the reason they're hyped about it is because look at the graphics back then in Final Fantasy 7. different graphics, different systems.
Originally it was being developed for
earlier generation.
Yeah, it was originally
generation
being developed for Super Nintendo, but once but then it jumped. The scope of it was going to be way too big to fit in cartridges, so it went to PlayStation.
But look at Final Fantasy VII now when they were making it. They showed it at what?
E3.
E3 last year, right?
Was it E3 or was it the Tokyo Game Show? One of those.
Either one. They just showed Cloud with his weapon, and you know well enough, him coming back. That's Final Fantasy VII. Everyone's hyped about it just because of how it looks. To me, I'm just excited because I get to play the storyline again, and they might have added more. You never know without.
Yeah, they said it wasn't a remake. It wasn't a reboot. It was more of I think it was a reimagining or something.
Remastered or something in a way, but remastered is just the whole game. But it's not a reboot. It's not remake as well. I think it's just like remaking the whole game but adding more to it.
And Square Enix said to expect changes.
The one thing everyone is expecting is the death. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, supposedly things are going to play out different, or things might stay the same. I keep looking up sources, but
they change every time.
We won't know until it comes out,
and I'm excited for that.
Which I don't want anything spoiled for me, so I want to keep it.
To me, the way I'm gonna see it, if it's still kind of like the same way as Final Fantasy VII originally, I'd be happy to it. But if they add things that I don't like, I am gonna write a letter. I'm sorry, I am gonna write a letter, and I'm not gonna
complain to Square Enix and be like, no, stop it.
So pretty much that is all, you guys, and pretty much thank you for being on my channel today. And I know if you guys noticed, my hair is faded mint green. My brother called it cotton candy.
This looks good.
He was there for that, actually. And the next time I go to the salon, of course, that's another video I'm gonna do. Most likely he's gonna be in it too. I'm actually gonna record what they do to my hair next. I might just cut the bottom part right here because it's starting to do the mullet thing again. You can see it. The mullet thing. It's like spiking out. It's like it already got thick. Yeah. Alright.
But that's another topic for another day.
That's another pretty much, I'm gonna see if I can post this video up tonight. If not, it'll be up by tomorrow morning. Another video that's probably gonna be up is gonna be Nufu's brother's reaction to PT Silent Hills.
He did it!
He finally did it. It took forever. I'm not gonna fast forward or anything. You are gonna see us in the video and everything, so it's like gonna be a pretty long video.
You're gonna hear people talking in the background.
You're gonna see me back and forth. You're gonna hear a little girl because she was trying to play the game. She wants to see how scary it was because she's like, I'm not scared and everything. I'm like, this little girl, how old is she?
I don't know. She's like 3, 4.
She's like 4 years old, and this girl is like very hyper.
That's good though.
Yeah. So until next time, guys.